from 2014. Islamo Fascist Terror issues. Obama and Biden bicker over whom to arm in Syria. They need troops on the ground for airstrikes to be effective, but they are being dishonest to the voters who put them in office. The reason why they need to have boots on the ground is to avoid hitting innocent parties. There are many such in Syria, but not as many as there should be. The enemies of good people in Syria have been supported for a long time, and any good person has been removed from power. There is a local government that could advise the U.S. as to what useful action could be, but Obama does not like Israel. Meanwhile, 4 more beheadings by Islamo Fascists, but not ISIS, have been perpetrated recently. The myth of Islamic murder is embraced by terrorists keen to scare all opposition, but it also galvanises opposition, including idiots like the Australian Defence League, ADL, who call themselves the Australian Tea Party. The ADL have allegedly called notable Islamic peoples unrelated to terrorism and threatened their lives by threatening to behead them. The issue of terrorism in Australia was exposed by 11 terrorist wannabes having been stopped at an Australian airport. A 12th alleged terrorist was stopped in Saudi Arabia and flown back. Naturally, this disturbs those who support terrorism in Australia, and so a valiant attempt to legitimise terrorism is to say, terrorism is to Islam as the KKK is to Christians. It is an effective way at spitting at Christians, but just as with the Nazi analogy, it fails too. Christian leaders don't embrace the KKK, but Islamic leaders embrace terrorist values. Australian issues, thin budget cuts are not enough. The ALP have racked up a lot of debt and have spent more on more. It is unaffordable to stand still. At the moment, Palmer United Party are joined with Greens and ALP in preventing needed reform. One of the architects of the debt is former PM Julia Gillard. She claims she spent big for social justice. Many people of celebrity status, like Gillard, give their time for free on social justice issues. Gillard has said she would help on social justice issue for a fee. Gillard claims she was hampered by misogynists who wouldn't let her succeed. Meanwhile, writer Birmingham targets Mr. Abbott, writing of his appearance in Speedos and claiming Mr. Abbott is pushing his genitals into everyone, including voters. Birmingham hates Mr. Abbott, and no other writer has written of Gillard in the same way, yet Mr. Abbott endures while Gillard whinges. The fact is, Gillard was not fit to be Prime Minister. Gillard was supported by the ABC in office. It is telling to hear the ABC now on other issues. Tonight, ABC News presented an item on Big Australia discussing global warming in context of a growing population, and the presenter finished it by suggesting Australia needs to find world's best practices for dealing with large populations, like, for example, Cuba. Only one example was given. What could Australia learn from communist Cuba? ABC needs to say more explicitly what it suggests.